Hello and welcome to another What's Inside. This time we are looking at a copy of Elder Sign Omens of the Pharaoh expansion. This is from Fantasy Flight Games, and of course you do need a copy of Elder Sign core set to play this. This is just an expansion. This is from 2017, and it does add a new set of scenarios to the game. And here's what we're going to see inside. We've got 1 rule sheet, 3 Ancient One cards, 6 Investigator cards, 50 Adventure cards, 8 Special Adventure cards, 1 Entrance card, 4 Ally cards, 30 Mythos cards, 16 Relic cards, 1 Scenario sheet, 6 Investigator markers, 8 Monster markers, and 8 Expedition tokens. So let's take a look at what we've got. Now, Elder Sign is a fun game, so this should be a pretty good addition to it. I've heard really good things about this one. And of course, there are 2 different size cards, and they do tell you here, sleeve size is 2 and 1. So I always recommend those for games like this. These deck builder games tend to put a lot of wear on the cards if you play them on a regular basis. Because unlike games like Uno, these are a little harder to find and can get expensive if they go out of print. I'll show you the sides of the box. Pretty cool looking imagery. So let's see what we've got in here. The box quality is really nice. Like always, Fantasy Flight puts really good quality work into their stuff. I'm rarely disappointed with the quality. Fold out paper though, that's pretty irritating. Alright, so there's our components list. That's nice that it's in color. Now if you don't want spoilers, turn away, because you might want to shut this video off if you don't want to see all the cool cards and stuff. So the rule book is what you'd usually get. It's just add-on rules to the main core and telling you what the new changes are going to be. Of course, you've got easy, normal, and hard, which are green, yellow, and red, respectively. So pretty standard stuff for Elder Sign. But a lot of new stuff on here, too. New Mythos cards, all of that. And then, of course, a whole bunch of credits. New Ancient Ones, we've got the Haunter of the Dark, which is average. Nefer and Ka, which is hard. And Nyarlathotep, which is insane. So here we've got a big stack of stuff. Here's our little tiny cards. Here's our regular sized. These are tarot sized. So as I'm calling them. And the nice thing about this is there's little punch areas here so you can put your thumb and pick up the cards without damaging them. And as usual, nothing underneath. Thank you again, Time Stories, for making me check every single game ever. So we'll start with the big stuff. Here's the Expedition. I don't know why this one is in its own bag. That seems a little pointless. But I get it, I guess. So we've got our Expedition, and on the back is the exhibit. It's got your usual at midnight, 3 trophies, gain 1 relic. The entrance has the following options in addition to its normal listed costs. I'm not going to get too crazy on reading all this because we'll be here all night, but you get kind of the idea. Let's see if I can zoom in without making everything shake horribly. Not really. That might make it a little easier to see. This card actually came bent. You can see there's a little bit of warping here. Can't see it real well on here, but this card is bent right here. That's really, really annoying because these are not cheap. It does have the icon on the bottom for what set it's out of. So that's really handy if you end up having to separate your sets, like to sell them off or whatever you're doing, or if you want to mix them up. Some people like to keep them separate, others don't. So that's the entrance card. Let's move that out of the way. We already looked at our rules. So next we've got our punch cards, which I think this is just one in here. It looks like it. See if I can open this without spilling these everywhere. These pop out really easily. This is code SL20, A1 of 1. And there's the punch tokens for the various monsters and whatnot. Proof of purchase. And on the back, the character icons are all the same. The monster ones are different, of course. But very nice all around. Very nicely put together piece. They're really good thickness. That's always impressive about Fantasy Flight, is they know how to use cardstock. So it is really good quality. This is side B, of course, with all the info on it. So this is SL20. A lot of these tend to get lost real easily if you're not careful with them. So if you're buying this used, be aware of that. Be aware of what should be in here. So you should have 6 character ones and 2, 4, 6, 8 of the monster ones. And 8 of the tokens. So yeah, pretty straightforward. Let's take a look at our big deck. Now remember, these are tarot card sized for your standard tarot decks. So if you're familiar with tarot, you know about how big these are going to be. So we've got Chamber of the Gate. I should probably unzoom that just a hair. Oops, wrong way. Hate doing that without pausing it, but this video is going to be long enough. So there's Children of the Gate. Next up we have Chamber of the Sun. Then Chamber of Sacrifice. These are not numbered, which is a little disappointing, but they do have the set icon in the bottom corner. Next up is Chamber of Midnight. Then we have the Dark Pharaoh. Now we're going to see 4 of these Dark Pharaoh cards, but the front's going to be the same. It's the back that's different on them. Like this one is Pharaoh's Curse. Then we see the next one. And that one is Form of the Serpent. Then the third one. And that is Evil Unleashed. And that one is Form of the Beast. Alright, next we get some red ones. Voice of the Messenger. These are level 2s, I believe. Yeah, there should be 4 of these, 5 of these. 5. So here's our first one, and the backs of these should all be the same. Yeah, it looks like they're all the same. And then this one is The Darkest Night. Followed by Opening the Eye. The Bloody Tongue. And then Eclipse. And the Black Wind. Now these are hard. They're red, so these missions are not going to be easy. Next we have the Inner Sanctum. And it looks like we have 5 of those. This is another red mission, so we've got Stone of Souls. Aspect of Nyarlathotep. Too Late. Stricken from History. And The Lost Explorer. Then we get into the yellow, and we're at Under the Pyramids. And the first part is One by One. In Cold Blood. Ugh. I need my eyes checked. Then Profane Ward. Under the Lid. And finally, Unsettling Mural. Alright, our next yellow is The Lost Catacombs. We have 5 of these. And our first one is The Untouched Vault. Visage of Sebek. The Priest. Lost. And Final Mistake. Then we get into the greens. And we've got the Dunes. There are 5 of these as well. First up, we've got Sandswept Ruins, followed by Desert Jewel, Something's Out There, Eldritch Gate, and finally Desert Oasis. Alright, then we're into the second story, which is, or the second set rather, yellows. This is Omens. Notice the change in the structure of the outline of the cards. Very distinctly different. And there are 5 Omen cards. First up we have Harried Flight. Followed by Dark Medicine. Locust over Cairo. Skull and Shadow. And finally Thief's Regret. Then we're into Outskirts. Another yellow. Notice this is a 1. I think these are all 1s. Yeah. Alright, so Outskirts, first card is Sandstorm. Plague Unleashed. River of Fear. Sudden Storm. And finally, Unearthed Creature. Then our next one is green, and it is Temple District. And our first one is Sacred Rites, followed by Temple Courtyard, Cursed Figurine, Book of the Dead, and Lost in Thought. So that was all of the Temple District. Now the Bazaar. There are, of course, 5 of these. We've got CD Wares, the Golden Scarab, Corner Gift Shop, Brazen Stalker, Trouble in the Bazaar. Now we go to Cairo Streets. There are 5 of these. It's also a green. And we've got A Meeting of Minds, Planning the Dig, Chance Encounter, Exhibit Storage, and Uneasy Journey. Alright, then we've got our Cairo and Dashur card. That's just our location information. 6 trophies, 5 trophies, etc. Advance the clock, and then flip the card. So you'd flip the card and advance the clock, flip the card. You know, usual sort of thing. Then we've got our character cards, which have this backing. Normal stuff. Sanity and health. And here we have Calvin Wright. He's got 6 and 6. That's pretty solid. See if I can adjust the camera a little bit without shaking things too much. Alright, that's a little bit better. Sorry about the camera shake. Not much I can do about that due to the setup. Next up is Safina Rousseau. 7 sanity, 3 health. Oof, that health is rough. Then we have Father Mateo, the priest. He seems pretty useful. Then we've got Agatha Crane. Classic. Oops. She's actually better than I thought she'd be in this one. Preston Fairmont. And finally, Carson Sinclair, the butler. He's actually pretty handy. Sorry, I didn't mean for that one to slide so much. Then we've got our monster cards. That's the back. And then we've got Nyarlathotep. That is a scary doom track. Then we've got Nephrin Ka, the Dark Pharaoh. And finally, Haunter of the Dark, aspect of Nyarlathotep. And all of these are devastating attacks. You do not want them showing up. So, alright, so the character cards look really cool. Some definitely good characters. Monsters look scary as always. Let's take a look at our tiny deck. Let's see what we've got here. Alright, let's see. Got quite a few different types of cards here. So, try and split these up as much as possible. Alright, we'll start with these. These are the equipment cards. And first up is an Ankh. Then an Elixir of Life. Oh, regaining stamina, that's pretty good. Ancient Text. Canoptic Jar. Sphinx Idol. Stone Figure. Waz Scepter. A Homunculus. Ancient Collar. Pharaonic Mask. Jeweled Scarab. An Ornate Scarab. Oh, if an investigator has the Jeweled Scarab relic, investigators as a group may discard both relics to put 2 otherworld adventures into play. Ooh, that could get interesting, couldn't it? Next, Ancient Crook. Ancient Flail. Eye of Darkness. Eye of Light. Alright, so those are pretty cool. Interesting stuff. Now, our ally cards. We've only got 4 of these. So we have Eric Weiss, better known to the world as Harry Houdini. Then Professor Ezra Graves. Dr. William T. Mailson. Olive McBride. Alright, not bad, not bad. And now we have... What are these? The adventure cards? Big old stack of cards. Let's see what we've got here. There's the back. And first up we have Plague. Thieves in Cairo. Sand Dwellers Attack. Shifting Catacombs. A Renowned Professor. The Faces of Evil. A Dubious Opportunity. Promise of Power. Dig Site Looters. Assassins. Desert Mirage. Extreme Thirst. Blazing Heat. Scorpion Venom. An Unusual Scarab. A Friendly Warning. The Dark Pharaoh Rises. A Failing Ward. Desert Caravan. Low on supplies. Mummified Corpse. Cursed Relic. The Dead Rise. Bass Takes an Interest. Blessing of Set. Minions of Sebek. Curse of the Pharaohs. Incredible Discovery. Diamond in the Rough. And finally, Stinging Sands. And that is what is inside the Elder Sign Omens of the Pharaoh expansion. You do need a copy of Elder Sign to play because it's got the core rules in it, of course. But it looks really nice. There's some really interesting adventures in here that look really, really cool. Some new allies. The fact that Harry Houdini's in there is really awesome. All around, the card quality is fantastic, as usual. I expect nothing less from Fantasy Flight, and you get what you pay for. This was about $20 when it first came out. I've seen it go for less than that occasionally, but I think it's out of print now. So be prepared to pay between $25 and $50 if you're looking for this. But the Elder Sign core game is still available, so there's a good chance you can still find this. And hopefully Fantasy Flight will be around for a long, long time, despite what rumors are. I think this game is a lot of fun, and it's very difficult and challenging at times. But this adventure set does look pretty good, and it can be a really interesting addition to the game. So I'm excited to try it out, and hopefully if you're playing Elder Sign, you'll give this one a look, because it's got a lot of potential. So you've seen what's inside, you've heard my take on it. I'm really impressed. Great quality as always. That's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you can, share it around on your social media. If you'd like to support the channel, otherwise, pick yourself something nice up from the Teespring store, or you can send me a donation through PayPal via Streamlabs, or support me monthly on Patreon and get access to exclusive videos for both this channel and for Bad Comic Reviews. And all those links are, of course, in the description. But as always, we hope to see you on the next one.